All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. I truly appreciate you. Many of you may know me already, but my name is Manuel Puga, and I am the Spanish notary instructor for Notary Starts. Today, we're going to explore the benefits of being a bilingual notary, including the revenue that you can potentially make, also on-demand appointments, whether it's for general notary work or loan signing agents, and even for non-notary appointments, such as apostille services, translation services, notary services, hospital and jail notarizations as well, and pretty much anything that we can notarize, right? Or services that we provide as notaries. After that, we will then review marketing strategies and ideas, following by Q&A, questions and answers. The first thing, I want to give you guys a disclaimer. This is not an event. This is not a bilingual class. I do not intend to teach you to learn another language. This is more what I intend to do and to teach is to have you learn more about the benefits of being a bilingual or multilingual notary public, and what you may be missing out as a potential revenue. If you don't mind, can you guys put a 1 if you are a bilingual notary? For those of you that speak more than 2 languages, can you put a 2? And then lastly, anybody speaks more than 3 languages, can you put a 3? That's gonna be Julie. That's gonna be Julie.
Manuel, your audio keeps fading out and then coming back. So if maybe you could speak a little bit louder, so when it does fade out, we can still kind of hear what's going on.
Got it. Thank you. Is it much better?
Yes, sir.
All right. So before we dive into this presentation, let's address some concerns that I always hear from notaries. This prevents them from openly disclosing that they are bilingual. So, is it illegal to communicate in a language other than English when notarizing documents? Absolutely not. As long as you, the notary, and the signer can communicate in a language that both speak and understand. The same is true for someone who communicates with another person in sign language, right? It is just another form of communicating. Now, I have to say that if you are not completely bilingual in the language you claim to speak, I highly recommend that you refrain from advertising yourself as such. And this is why. One, bad reputation, right? And you would be basically advertising yourself and lying about it. Some notaries, yes, they are bilingual, but when it comes to translate or give the general description of any given document, words that we have never seen, regardless the language you speak, right? So it's hard, and it's really also hard for me sometimes when I come across those words. Yes, we have nice tools like ChatGPT. That is an excellent tool for creating content. I use it all the time, right? But I always make sure that that information is legitimate and accurate. You don't want to put information that it's not accurate, right? Also, are we notaries public officials? Absolutely, we are, and we are appointed by our state, right? And we serve the public as an impartial witness to the signing of documents. So that being said, like if you're claimed to be a bilingual but you're really not, then again, don't do it. I do not recommend it. I am not here also to let you know how to run your business, right? We are all, notaries that own our own business, so it's really up to you. But my recommendation: don't do it. Spanglish. I don't know if this is really a word, but I hear it all the time, right? Like when somebody is speaking, right, they always refer like, "Oh yeah, I was speaking Spanglish," right? So I also did my research, and I want to share with you all about an experience that I went through when I first started my career as a notary public. So one title company called me and asked me if I was bilingual, if I speak Spanish. I said, yeah, I speak Spanish and I can help you. Great. So I went to the appointment. My signers did not speak any English at all, right? So here I am, right, like thinking it was easy, and it was not. Even though my primary language is Spanish, it was very, very difficult. And I want to share with you this stock with me to this day, and let me share the way I describe or give the general description of the document, right? Um, Here we go. So this is what I said, Spanglish. Este documento se llama Corrección Agreement. Firme aquí este documento. Dice que usted está obligado a firmar todos los documentos y no tiene opciones. For those of you who don't speak Spanish, I'm going to translate in English. So basically, in simple words, I told my client, you have no choice. You must sign the document, right? Totally, totally wrong. Then they asked me more questions as to, why they didn't have a choice, why they didn't have an option, right? So I went in depth and I told them that was not what I meant to say, but this is what I meant to say, right? And I'm going to read, after 3 years of working really hard and getting down all the words that I was not familiar with, this is how I sound now when I present specifically this document, Correction Agreement. Este documento se llama Acuerdo de Corrección. Al firmar este documento, usted entra en un acuerdo con el prestamista / banco / prestante / prestador de firmar cualquier otro documento que sea necesario para corregir errores administrativos o errores tipográficos. So can you guys see the difference between, like, not that you're not a bilingual, trilingual, it's just getting accustomed to those words, right, that we don't know. Again, using ChatGPT not always will give you the answer that you're looking for. So be very, very careful. Next, it's can I, as a notary public, advertise myself as a Notario Publico? Can you guys put a 1 if you're in state you are allowed to advertise as Notario Publico? Ms. Beth, I cannot see the chat. Can you tell me if anyone put it 1? That's what I thought, because I did my research on all 50 states, and I did not see that any state would list that it's okay, right? So the answer is no. And I got this quote from California. It's coming straight from my handbook. And it clearly says that we are not allowed, at least in California, advertise ourselves as a Notario Publico, right? And this is due to a lot of Latin American countries using a Notario Publico. Most of these people are basically highly trained and legal professional or similar to an attorney who they are authorized to provide legal advice, to draft legal documents, or to handle complex legal matters, right? So we are not that kind of guys, right? So yes, it is not okay for you to advertise yourself as a Notario Publico unless you hold that license, right? So please verify your state's specific laws. The risk of advertising yourself as a Notario Publico comes with a lot of issues, right? And one of those issues I will share with you right now. A guy here in San Francisco, Lacayo. I don't know if you guys heard about him, but this is an investigation that is ongoing. And this guy is going to pay a lot of money for advertising himself as a Notario Publico when in fact he was not a lawyer that was allowed to give legal advice or to create legal documents, right? So I tested my apologies. I tested the link earlier and it just it wouldn't work. So, but if you can just, not right now, but later, if you want to look it up, it's about 2.5 minute video clip. It's very interesting, but also very dangerous, right? So make sure to not advertise yourself as a Notario Publico. Let's get the party started. And let me tell you guys that there are so many benefits of being a bilingual notary. One of the key benefits of bilingual notaries public is the you have a potential to expand your market reach. You can make double revenue, right? So think of it as having multiple types of clients that you're serving. Increase client trust. In my experience, my parents do not speak English, right? So I'm always, when they need a notary, I'm always Googling like who is near them, and also the notary that speak their language, right? So that makes me very, very, very comfortable. Again, signings, when you are conducting loan signings go faster because you are given a clear general description of the documents, of any document that is presented to you. Stronger community connections. You become the bridge between cultures. Also, you are the go-to notary. You become the go-to notary. At least in my experience here where I live, I have many, many repeat clients who call me directly for two things. One, really good service, and also because I speak my client's language. Here where I live, in my area, I have 70% of the Hispanics, my clients, right? And probably about 30% I serve clients that do not speak or that they only speak English, right? I invite any one of you to collaborate about why am I getting 70% of my business from Hispanic population and not the other way around. Julie, I think you are a good candidate to unmute and tell me what would 70% of the Hispanic population are my clients?
You know, why? Because of the fact of the service you offer.
That is one, but the main thing for me, why I have 70% of my clients that are Hispanic population is one, because they are notaries in my area that speak Spanish, that are bilingual, right? But they are not advertising themselves as bilingual for some reason, right? That's one. Two, a lot of the notaries in my area do not speak Spanish. So every time they get a call from someone that speaks Spanish only, they always refer business to me. So this is why I have seen the trend of why am I getting 70, like a high percentage. It would be, to me, it would be the other way around, right? But it's not. So that's one of the benefits. Like, hey, I get all these clients and businesses, right? The clients that speak all clients that I speak, and we both speak the same language, right? Bilingual notary, higher demand for notary appointments, right? And then also a higher revenue. One thing I want to really emphasize is to update your profiles. Make sure that you update your profiles that you are bilingual, or at least list all the languages that you speak. Next slide. Where can you expand your notary services, right? So you can partner with hospital facilities. And yes, this is not new to you, right? This is like, you know that we notaries, we always go to hospitals, jail facilities, or we know at least that there is some business for us, right? But we don't do it for some reason. Not everybody, but a lot of notaries don't do it, right? And I can see why. Maybe they are scared. Maybe they are like, I don't want to do it. They're going to reject my services. I totally understand that. I go through it every time. I go and walk into a new facility. I feel the same way, but I still do it. And most of the times they like the staff take me because they are looking always for notaries, right? And we might think that they don't. They're also looking for notaries that speak more than one language, right? Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, right? All these facilities, and think about it, right? So people that are at hospitals not necessarily are old people, right? But also young people, but most of them that are at retirement homes, hospice, right? They speak only one language, right? And that could be the language that you speak. So don't be afraid. What I'm trying to say is don't be afraid to advertise your notary services at these locations: hospice, urgent care, nursing homes, skilled nursing, law firms. Advertise your services. If you provide apostille services, don't be afraid to put it on internet. Tell your friends, everybody, that you speak more than one language. Keep in mind also that all these facilities, they are also struggling, especially title companies, right? Sometimes they struggle to find notaries who speak, any, like in this case, like Spanish, right? So keep that in mind. They're always needing a notary. For loan signings here at Notary Starts, we have 6 modules of pre-recorded file training in Spanish, right? Those 34 plus are on-demand transaction loans, and those are or included. Those on-demand transaction files include like the purchase loan, refinance, home equity line, reverse mortgage, and so on and so forth. We can help you with that. We have put the time into this, right? So you don't have to, sit down and figure out how do you say what. It's a lot of time consuming. Believe me, it took me some time to pre-record 34 plus, transaction loan files. And it wasn't easy, but I did it. I highly recommend that if you are bilingual, again, put that everywhere. Bilingual Notary Public, hablo español. This is good. If you list the word hablo español, that's totally okay, right? As long as you don't put Notario Publico. Include your bilingual services on Google Business. Make sure that you keep updating your Google Business profile. When Google doesn't detect any movement on Google Business, on your Google Business profile, they tend to bring your business profile down, right? So the more you keep updating with more information, the more you're going to be ranking at on Google page, right? The first page. Now we don't promise here at Notary Stars that you're going to be always at, like on the first page of Google, right? That's the only thing that we don't have for you guys time, right? So if you're patient, just be patient, and within months you're going to be there, but you have to advertise yourself as such. Also, don't forget to, when you're creating writing blogs, make sure you also include that. And I put here some examples here as donde encontrar un notary public, and in my case, in San Jose, California. That also helps a lot. So if you notice, I put in red notary colleagues, right? This is huge for me. Networking with other notaries in your area. Remember, these are not our competition, right? These are our colleagues, and my notary colleagues in my area, they bring me a lot of business, and vice versa, right? So when I'm full scheduled, right, I always refer business back to them. But this is huge for me. I get a lot of business from notary colleagues. So start making friends. You can make, Facebook perhaps, and it's like ultimate goal is honestly to help out clients, right? Regardless who notarize their documents. Another good one is get direct business from title escrow companies. They are always in need. So far, I have 7 direct clients that at one point I was just terrified in going to advertise my business. And I did it, and it's working out. So I know it is not easy, but just go for it. if you want direct business, right? They're always looking for notaries who speak more than one language. Also attend local chamber of commerce. One thing I'm going to say, I paid once to become a member of chamber of commerce. It did not work for me, but it doesn't mean it's not going to work for you, right? I don't know what is your budget, but my best recommendation is to start off with any community events that you can attend for free. Start with those and just get your name out there. Social media marketing, also, it's a big one. Make sure that you emphasize that you are bilingual. TikTok, I just opened up my account, my TikTok account, and it's working. It's really, really working. I have been getting a lot of clients, not so much like title company or escrow companies, but more like notaries, right? So I am targeting, obviously, notaries, right, to join Notary Stars, and it's working. And the reason why it's working is because most of my videos I speak Spanish, and that is how I have been getting more notaries to get to know me. So that works too.
Manuel, you
Yes.
have a hand up in the audience. Do you want to take
Oh, sure.
a question now?
Absolutely.
Miss Olivia, if you want to go ahead and unmute and ask your question.
Okay, thank you so much. This has been very, very helpful. When I've tried to get my hands into or get my feed into the title escrow lenders as a benefit to speak the Spanish, and I let them know, how do you get through that red tape of, we already have someone, or we have to go to directly with a company, or is there anything in particular that you say, any keywords or anything like that? Because I've done some work in Spanish for the bilingual ones, but it doesn't seem to click with them. Hey, she did really well and she's Hispanic. Is there anything in particular, and what kind of fees do you usually, go with this when you do that? Loans or things like that?
I thank you very much, Olivia, for asking this question. I'm gonna be very, very honest, okay, with you. And I hope, Ronnie, I'm just gonna give you one. I'm gonna give away one. What do you call it? One tip, right? I hope Ronnie is that I don't get in trouble with Ronnie. So we have. Are you a Notary Star member or not yet?
I'm going to reapply.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you this tip. So the way I have been getting business from title and escrow companies is when they tell me, like, yeah, we already have notaries on staff. This is what I tell them. I go, I understand that you have already notaries on staff and you're go-to notaries, right? But here's my information. So when you walk in, when I walk in the way you see me dressed right now. I'm also walking in with my resume and my business cards, right? And when they tell me that, I tell them, like, I understand you have notaries on staff, and I know you have your go-to notaries, but I don't mind being your second choice. So here's my resume, here's my business card. Should you need a notary for after hours or when your notaries are not available or sick or on vacation, here is my business card. I do not mind and will not be offended if you call me as your second notary. And I have not been rejected by anyone from taking my information. And I follow up. You have to follow up. You can't just go once and then disappear, right? So you want to go back and just have them recognize your face, have them become familiar with you. But if you want to learn more tips about how to walk in door and get the business, I highly suggest you to join the marketing class with Ronnie. He's got like amazing tips on how to break those barriers, right? And I want to say one more thing that came to mind. So when you're talking to the receptionist, right, the people that are at the front desk, right, those are your best friends, right? Because they have a job to do, and their job is to take information from anybody that walks into that office, right? So don't be offended if they do not let you speak with the title officer, right? That's their job, to take information from people that walks in. So sometimes those can be your best friends in order for you to get to the title officer. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other hands up, Mr. Britt?
You are good to proceed.
All right, thank you. So ways of marketing yourself, when you're doing, when you're creating flyers, postcards, and business cards, I cannot emphasize, and I don't want to bore you, by emphasizing like English and Spanish, but this is very, very clerical when it comes to advertising ourselves that we speak more than one language, right? Churches, I go to churches all the time, law offices, auto dealerships. They're also needing a lot of those documents that require notarization, at least in my area. Also, register with Notary, join Notary Cafe, right? I have the free one. I don't pay for membership, but the free one, they let you have a free one, Notary Cafe. Advertise yourself everywhere, signing agent, again, emphasize the skills. And also, this is just something that I learned also through Notary Starts, is when you are updating your profiles, regardless which platform or online directory, make sure that you, when you update it, make sure that you type last updated and then put the date. This way, they know people that visit your page, your profile, they know that you are still active, right? Because sometimes it's we created those directories or platforms, we sign up and everything, but we never update them, right? So this is important for me. If I see that somebody last update their profile on today's day, that means that they are still active and they are still in business. Always ask for Google reviews, right? And what I do, if it's somebody that I know they speak Spanish, I always also reply back to them in Spanish, Spanglish, right? I use like keywords, right? So that always helps my rank on Google Business, on my Google Business profile. Now, next question, and I want to make it like, I don't want to get misunderstood on this slide, right? But can you charge more for notary services just because you can assist the client in a language other than English? Can you do that? Is it ethical? Will the customer become your repeat customer? Will they leave you a negative review on Google Business Profile? Will this impact your business? So I hear this a lot, right? Hey, can you tell me if I could charge more for, providing notary services in a different language other than English, right? Think about it, right? Again, you are the owner of your notary business. I am not here to tell you how to run it, but personally, I think it is unethical to do that, right? And it can get you, in trouble. When I say in trouble, it's like somebody can put a negative review on your Google business, and they will be definitely not your repeat customers, right? Because that's how I look at it when it comes to charging more. I personally do not. I find ways that I can upsell to the client. How do I do that? If somebody brings me a document that I am familiar with and I know that it most likely would need a translation, so I ask, do you need translation services for this document? I can facilitate that service. How about, do you need apostille services? I can help you and I facilitate that service. How about courier service? Somebody brings you a recordable document, right? Like I can take it for you. I provide courier services. So you can absolutely upsell the client, but you have to know also how to upsell that, right? And again, to me, just charging extra for just providing my services in Spanish, I don't believe in that. Also, another service that I offer are printing services and scanning services, right? So some people are once like they need the document notarized, right? And then they want to scan it, right? Well, you can also tell them that you can scan those documents for them for an extra, cost. And that's how you can make more money. I have a question for all my Spanish speakers. If anybody can unmute and tell me how would you say in Spanish this 4 documents in Spanish? Anybody?
Acuerdo de corrección.
Very good. How about notice of right to cancel? And don't cheat.
El derecho de cancelar.
How about settlement statement?
Esto para mí sería la declaración del cierre.
And closing disclosure?
Bueno, yo digo siempre closing disclosure y doy una explicación de lo que es.
So I have the answers. So for notice of right to cancel, it's aviso, derecho a cancelación, acuerdo de corrección for correction agreement. For settlement statement, yeah, you got that right. Declaración de liquidación, and the last one, divulgación de cierre, right? So 3 years ago, I did not know. I just was speaking Spanglish, right? I was basically just naming each document in English. And I felt the need to provide, obviously, better services, especially, again, because my parents do not speak Spanish, right? So I wouldn't want anybody to come to my parents and, speak to them in Spanglish or given the general description of the document and they don't understand, right? So that's how I look at it. And now that I get this signings and they are Spanish speakers only, I feel very, very comfortable, and signings go by a lot faster than if I were to speak Spanglish. Thank you very, very much for each of you to show up today on a Saturday, spending with us for about an hour of your time. I truly appreciate you, and thank you. That's all I can say. Thank you so much. Anybody has any questions? And by the way, I am hosting another event on November 8th, 2025. And this is going to be about missed opportunity marketing for bilingual notaries. And we have a special guest on that day. It's going to be Mr. Running Miko that day. They're going to be both hosting this event. And I hope I can see you all on this day.
If anybody wants to actually join Notary Stars and be a part of Manuel's program to learn how to not speak Spanglish at a Spanish signing, he is offering a 50% discount on any membership that, except for the marketing level, basic or Notary Stars, with a code, and I will put that in the chat for you so that you can click on that, add the code, become a member, and join Manuel to have him teach you how to present in Spanish. You have a couple of hands up, Mr. Manuel. Joseph did ask a question in the chat. Hopefully that's what he's going to do now. Go ahead, Joseph, unmute and ask your question.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, my question is, because you were talking about a Notario Publico, and I definitely understand that that's especially how that comes across here in the United States to someone that's from Mexico or another country, that Notario Publico is more of a legal term of somebody that's in law, I guess. But can we just, like, when I call a customer to address them in Spanish, like, I'm like, estoy llamando, soy el notario. Am I okay with just saying that? Or am I supposed to say, soy el notary public? And then now it becomes by like Spanglish, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. I still say notary public, right? Because we never know who we're talking to, right? And it could be someone that really knows the law, right? And I don't want to give anybody a chance to get sued. Like, oh, he presented to me as Notario Publico, right? What I always say, I do explain to my clients every time I call, hi, my name is, hola, mi nombre es Manuel Puga, soy el Notary Public, y estoy aquí para llamarle, para hacer la cita de cita de firmas, right? If they don't ask me anything about like, why are you saying, or I didn't understand Notary Public, I don't even bother to explain to them, right? But if they question me like, hey, what's a notary public, right? And I tell them like the reason why I'm introducing myself as such is because, and I go in depth, like we know that in Latin American countries, and notario público it's somebody that can help you create legal documents and give you legal advice. We're not. We notary publics here in the USA are different from the ones you know in your home country, and then they understand. But I still say notary public.
Okay, so the same would apply. Like, if I got business cards, I wouldn't want to put notary public and then in parentheses notario. That would be probably wise not to add that either.
I wouldn't do that, and I would not recommend you to do that either.
Okay.
Well, I would think business card is the same as the advertisement. So the fact that you're not using both words shouldn't really get you out of trouble. So notario, you just cannot be.
And then what state are you in?
I'm in Arizona.
Okay.
So like if I wanted to change my name, I've got Go Joe Notary, but if I also wanted to do like AKA El Notario, that would probably be out of the question. It
still applies to like the law, the Notario Publico, that we're not allowed to advertise ourselves as such. So I would stay away from Notario Publico at all costs. And then I invite you to actually look at watch the clip, the YouTube video about this Mr. Lacayo advertising himself as Notario Publico. Last time I saw that clip, he was getting sued for a big amount of money. So it is really not worth it.
Got it. Okay. Well, definitely. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Thanks for your question.
Good advice. Miss Julie. Hi, Julie.
Hi.
Go ahead.
I would highly recommend, and to all of you on here, for especially those who do not speak a second language, to find that person in your market who does. I see postings on every Facebook group out there. Oh, I need a Spanish-speaking notary. I need a Spanish-speaking notary. You need to have vetted that notary before you can even consider using them. What if you get the notary who's done one notary and you take that person? That truly reflects back on you and your professionalism. Please, please take the time to go and find one. Manuel suggested get to know the people in your area. They're your colleagues. And surprisingly enough, I met someone very similar to that. He speaks Spanish. He is a native speaker. And somehow we met at one function, and I have probably received 20 or 30 referrals from him because he couldn't cover them. And so it's been a great benefit to have met this gentleman. So please meet the other people in your area. And for those of you looking for people that are online notaries, again, align yourself with an online notary. one that speaks the language that you're looking for. You know, if you think that you only need one from Virginia, find one in Virginia, and don't necessarily go with the first one you meet, because there are many of them out there. And I highly recommend training, training, training. Amy, who many of you know, and most of you should know as our Ron expert, have been and known Amy for years, and she put up with me. I would go to every training. I would ask the craziest questions, and I had a difficulty learning Adobe, which the program I was in at the time reflected heavily with Adobe. And I stuck with it. And I am a very prolific notary. I'm so blessed. And it just takes patience and training. You go to the ones at 7 a.m., you go to the ones at 8 a.m., you go to the ones at 9 o'clock at night, you go to all of them until you have that fluency that you need, not just with the language, but also with the platform and what you're doing.
So that one networking, thank you, Julie, but that one networking to find that other notary should start right here, guys. We see
absolutely.
We see a bunch of names in the gallery, but only a couple of them are showing where they're from. Martin is Colorado. Anna is Colorado. Gina is California. That's it. You guys should be going in every time you attend a public session. If you go in person, I guarantee you, you're going to have a name tag and an opportunity to talk to somebody. Change your name tags right here. Put your state behind your name. Martha, Arizona. Yay, Martha. And then connect with them in the chat.
Then, and then also don't think about just notary services, right? Think about like Kirsten. Think about Nicola in Florida, right? Sometimes we are in California and people are calling from out of states, right? They are requesting, hey, can you help me get this document apostille, right? It is in Arizona, right? Okay, who do I know in Arizona, right? That instead of turning away business, they, yeah, I can certainly help you, right? But like Mrs. Julie said, get to know that notary, right? Make sure that they also know what they're doing, right? Because your name is on the line. So, like for instance, I know Mr. Butch. Many of you may know Mr. Butch, right? So every time I have like somebody that, hey, I'm in France, right? But I need to get my document apostille, right? But it's in Arizona. I call Mr. Butch. Can you assist? Can you help? So I make money, Mr. Butch makes money, everybody makes money, and at the end of the day, we made a client happy.
One more question, Mr. Manuel, and then I think we can wrap it up.
Sure.
For Miss Olivia.
This is just a side thing, Manuel, for the presentation purposes. Since we're saying that we're not Spanglish, when in your slide, you say the English word for cancellation and correction. So I just wanted to let you know.
That he was demonstrating what not to do. That was in the very beginning, like the third or
no, it was the last slide that he was saying. How do you say these in Spanish? Go to the last slide. You see how you say correction and cancellation?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much.
That's okay. I just didn't want to, have people not understand what.
Truly, yes. Thank you very, very much. Yes, I see that.
Okay. You're welcome.
Yeah. And then,
hi, Olivia.
It's the detail-oriented myself. Sorry.
There you go.
Thank you, Olivia. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
Looking forward to
right.
November 8th.
All right, sounds good, Olivia. Thank you. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ms. Beth, for being here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kristen. It was nice meeting you all, and I appreciate your time today and for being here with us.
Thank you, Manuel.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you very much.
Good job.
Bye.
Download and keep the chat. If you want to get the link and your membership, you can do that too before you sign out. Okay, guys? Have a good weekend.